Honestly, who isn't Scorpius's fuck buddy at this point?
I know, right? There's a lot of sexual tension between Scorpius and everybody.
Everyone wants a leather daddy.
Such a leather daddy. Up against a leather mommy in this episode, or at least one of these episodes.
And he got topped in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't keep it top down forever.
Nope.
So, yeah. I already started recording, so we're just going to open with us talking about the Scorpius does a BDSM dynamic with everybody.
Yep.
With everybody.
Everybody.
Hi, friends.
Howdy, y'all.
Salutations.
Hello.
And welcome to Muppet Sex and Trauma. I'm Sara Ezzat. I make the Pop Culture Critic videos on YouTube.
I'm Josh Gosdin, and I am the biggest nerd in my household.
I'm Ren the Barbarian, occasionally YouTuber.
Ooh.
I'm mainly Mandy. I also am occasionally a YouTuber and Farscape fan and lover.
Beautiful. Wonderful.
What's your position in the polycule of Scorpius's various dynamics?
Where am I in the Scorpius extended polycule?
The Scorpicule?
The Scorpicule.
Scorpicule breaking the fourth wall.
I think I'm the voyeur. Like, I'm on the couch, like in the corner, just kind of watching it all go down because it's just so fascinating. Like, I wouldn't want to interrupt his flow. I think that's where I am.
I think that's here, where we all are.
Taking notes.
And I'm bringing snacks.
Hydrating people. Just like, here you go. You're doing great. A little slap on the butt and then I get out of the way, you know.
I'll let you do your thing.
Yep.
Don't mind me.
Well, shall we? I don't know. Do we need any other preamble before we do the summary?
We can just amble.
All right. We'll skip the pre and do the amble.
We are ambling.
We're So Screwed Part 2, Hot to Katratzi, was written by Carlton Eastlake and directed by Carl Zwicky. Part 3, La Bomba, was written by Mark Saracini and directed by Rowan Woods. The Peacekeepers and the Scarren are having a peace conference on the Scarren base Katratzi. All the big players are here. In this corner, Neville Chamberboobs Greza, along with Scorpy's boy toy Braca. In the other corner, War Minister Dino Dominatrix Akna, Captain Kentop Scorpy Janik, and a new face. All in red and gold we have the Scarren Emperor Starleak. And there's a whole cavalcade of Kalish bureaucrats and Charid guards. Oh, and also secret prisoner Scorpy in the dungeon getting tortured by Akna with the assistance of our old friend Stark. It's a hell of a party, and John and friends are here to crash it. They have a plan. John is going to distract the main players while Sikozu, Rigel, and Dargo stoke the animosity between the Kalish and the Charids. Granny will sneak and find Scorpy's location. Once they know where he is, push the animosity to a riot, giving cover for John and Aaron to get Scorpy and make sure he's not spilling any wormhole secrets that he stole from John's mind. And what's John's plan to gain access and distract the leaders? Capitalism, baby! He offers all his wormhole knowledge to the highest bidder. And how will he stop the villains from just taking it from him? Terrorism, baby! Nuclear terrorism. He's got a bomb and a complicated dead man switch. Mess with him at all, and everyone and everything goes boom. Sikozu goes above and beyond with her part in the riot provoking. It seems she's part of a Kalish resistance, a robot resistance made of bioloids with special abilities. And she finds a comrade among the administration, one who gives her access codes for John and Aaron to take an elevator to a secret secure garden. Strangers being found in the secret secure garden provides an inciting incident for the needed riot, and surprisingly, things go pretty much according to plan. John even gets the Emperor to hand Scorpy over to him. But, of course, Scorpy didn't actually have any wormhole knowledge to spill. That was just Harvey 2.0 scheming to motivate John to do this bonkers rescue plan to begin with. Okay, then John asks Eren to kill Scorpy, but she doesn't want to kill him, and John can't do it. Okay, let's all just go to Lola. Except at the last minute, Scorpy turns on them, and no one is getting away just yet. With the riot quelled, the Scarrens are even more suspicious of John and friends. But Scorpy insists that if he hadn't stopped them, the Scarrens would have shot down Lola, a point underscored by the discovery that someone has been on Lola. She needs to be turned off and on for a reset. Speaking of which, the Scarrens have remotely deactivated John's bomb. We're gonna need a bigger plan. And that's when the secret secure garden comes back in. It's not just there to look pretty, and the petals don't just make a nice Scarren snack. The Scarrens need the flowers to keep their brains working. Scorpy has actually been searching for this garden for years. It's the reason he'd been torturing Stark when we met him. If they can destroy the mother plant, it'll set the Scarrens back massively. And it'll end the threat of war between the Peacekeepers and the Scarrens. Speaking of that war, Grayza has effectively lost all her bargaining power, and with all her plans and pride in tatters, she plans a suicide strike against the Scarren base. A plan which is thwarted when Braca turns on her and usurps her command. And they leave under a flag of truce, but with no hope of a treaty. So, Operation Kill Audrey 2 is the only possibility of peace. Sikozu's contact does them one last service, giving them an access key to a special drilling wonkavator to go anywhere on the station. And down to the garden they go. Sikozu, Scorpy, Eren, John, Dargo, and Shiana, down to destroy the mother plant. Meanwhile, Rani and Rigel have a little side quest involving saving Stark from a bioloid copy of himself, and sneaking back to Lola. And back to Aubrey too, which, whoopsie, it has a shield. And so this plan is also a failure. And the baddies are coming for them. Time for some improv and elevator shenanigans. Not to mention Sikozu's reveal that she's got death magic fairy powers. And finally, the crew come to a last stand, trapped in a heavily shielded elevator, but completely surrounded. But John has reactivated the bomb. And, well, it was introduced in the first act. It's the name of the episode. We all knew it was coming. John drops the bomb down the elevator, and boom! The base explodes, but our crew are safe. And later, on Moya, most people are enjoying some thank God we're alive sex. Or food, all except for John and Eren, as our boy feels the weight of what he's done. Thoughts?
Ba-da-ba-la-la-bamba. Ba-da-ba-la-la-bamba.
Been waiting for that one, huh?
David Kemper apparently wanted to name the title to be La 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 Bamba. But, they didn't let
They
him.
can only afford one law.
They get really expensive after like the third law, so...
Yeah.
I think this is these episodes. I know this is we watched 2. It's part of a 3-parter, obviously, with the whole Katratzi storyline. It's kind of an interesting sort of parallel to the Into the Lion's Den storyline of season 3, because that was the Peacekeepers and their efforts to get the why am I blanking on words?
Wormhole.
I'm sorry. Wormhole, thank you. I kept wanting to say time warp. I'm like, that's not right. Big fan. The wormhole technology and them having to take down the Peacekeepers. And now we have this parallel with the Scarrens of the needing to take down the Scarrens before they get the wormhole technology. But also the Peacekeepers are here too, because, Grayza's around. And it's interesting because I think in many ways, for me, Into the Lion's Den is the stronger arc. But the Katratzi storyline is still really good. Like, there's still a lot of interesting things happening there. We get to see more with the Kaleesh. We get to see more this interesting dynamic between the Kaleesh and the Charids. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
The space orcs. Yeah. We get to see that interesting dynamic. So there's a lot of interesting things happening in these episodes. And I found myself comparing them a lot to Into the Lion's Den and what they did similarly and what they did very differently.
Yeah, it was it's a lot of moving parts, it's like you have a lot of things to keep track of, who the Charids are. I had trouble myself because it's been a hot second since I was like, who is this? Who is that? But yeah, I thought they managed the juggling act of all the various plots like really well, and it makes sense why this storyline took 3 episodes.
I liked the I love the Stark return. That was definitely not something I saw coming. I was hoping that we would get some like old characters returning back here towards the end. Stark was not on my list, but I was actually happy to see him.
You were
As
hoping for Maldus, weren't you?
I'm always hoping for Maldus. No, I was hoping for Zahn, honestly. But Stark will do. But and then just in general, the whole like, I guess, shall we say, controversial decision to strap a thermonuclear bomb to oneself and threaten an
Like you
entire
do.
planet, and then actually follow through on that threat. At the very least, represents an opportunity for John to finally take control of his destiny. And him jumping up on the table was very cathartic compared to the way he's just been shit kicked all throughout the series up until this point. Like John is finally the master of his own domain, so to speak. Not a Seinfeld reference.
Yeah, that speech is famous in the fandom. It is marvelous, and it is also ad-libbed.
No,
Really?
That does not surprise me, honestly.
I did not know
Ben.
that.
So is the sweet little dancing moment.
Oh.
No wonder Aaron looks so proud of him.
And Aaron's "it's the hat" line.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a hell of an ad lib. That's a hell of a everything. Just yeah. I am an American.
And the little musical
Sure
cue
is.
right underneath it. Like it's just perfect. It's so good. Capitalism. Like
It's lovely to see like the people who have been involved in the making of the show for so long just get to like play.
Now, sorry, you said this three-parter was produced before the episode that aired earlier where they found out that they were canceled, right? So they didn't know they were canceled yet.
No. I mean, I think they were always somewhat aware at the end of every season that it could be their last. But there was a bunch of shenanigans going on in the background about who owned the Jim Henson Company and where it was mergers and all sorts of shit. And also it was expensive. So yeah, they're like, we would have gotten more War Minister Akna in season 5. And we probably would have gotten more of the whole Bioloid thingy death elf magic stuff with Sokozu. And also they had plans to do stuff with the that old Nabari illness AIDS allegory thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably jumping off of that. That's probably one of my biggest disappointments about the show getting canceled when it did, is that we never got to see more with the Nabari because they were set up so well. Chiana's fear of Nabari Prime, and then seeing what happened in that episode in season 2. I was so ready for the Nabari to come back and be this big bad that was going to be even a worse existential threat than the Scarrens and the Peacekeepers somehow, or maybe not the worst, but like definitely a horrible. They're horrible. They're absolutely horrible. They're another kind of fascist society because we need more of those in this universe. We don't have enough. So that's probably one of my biggest disappointments that with the show getting ended when it did, is that we never got to get a satisfying sort of story arc like with the Scarrens and the Peacekeepers, but for the Nabari. That's really too bad. We never got to have that moment of, Chiana getting to join the resistance and maybe find her brother and all of that. It's really too bad.
Do a little bit more with our visions, which have definitely been taking a forgetful backseat these last several episodes.
Again, that was intended to be paid off, but
the best laid plans.
Studio bullshit.
I'm a Trekkie. I'm no stranger to canceled ambitions.
Yeah.
But I think like the fact that we got 4 seasons and the fact that like it was a huge achievement to get the miniseries. We will talk about that.
4 seasons in a movie. 2 movies, really.
Well, sort of a 2-part movie. There was a big campaign, and we will talk about that later. But we this is it's a very bombastic.
Yeah.
Bombastic.
I didn't even plan that. But very, the kind of like You know, I used the word a minute ago. Like the second to last episode, penultimate climaxy thing that Farscape does. I mean, first we had blowing up the Scorpion's base.
Mhm.
And then we had the Shadow Depository. Repository, whatever.
Not a suppository.
Just think a little different. And then the best one, I agree, is Into the Lion's Den. That is just spectacular. And then we have this. And yeah, the biggest body count, probably.
Actually, speaking of the body count, how do people feel about how that's sort of like acknowledged in the episode? Because I'll admit I'm a little almost, I don't want to say I'm underwhelmed by it, but there's a part of me that's surprised it wasn't this bigger deal. Like John set off a nuclear bomb. Granted, it was on this Katrasi base, which seemed to mostly just be the Scarrens and their allies. It doesn't seem like it was the same as like the command carrier where you had like families. We never saw like baby Scarrens running around. But also we don't know because we only saw so much of the base. So it's kind of interesting at the end then when John's sort of weighing the fact that he did that, but there's not this like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like there was a lot of build. There's a lot of build to the bomb going off. There's so much building to the bomb going off, but there's not a lot of build to the potential like outcome of the bomb. You know what I mean? Like there's no like he sits with it at the very end of the episode, but it's kind of short. Like it doesn't there's not this moment of them like looking around the base and seeing all the dead bodies or them estimating how many people died. Like there's none of that. So I'm curious how other people feel about the way, nuclear devastation is handled in this episode.
I don't know that he ever intended like that he ever like I don't think he thought that he would actually have to set it off. I mean, of course there were times where it's like, he really had to call their bluff and, be like, I'm gonna let it go. But I really don't think he ever thought it would actually happen until it did. And he was like, yeah.
I was going to say the exact same thing, but I did mention in the rewatch to Sara that actually was, I guess it was noteworthy to me that they did give John that moment there at the end, because, in Star Wars, that would just be an unambiguously heroic victory. We blew up the enemy base, kind of a thing.
We blew up the Death Star.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. But John actually sitting with it and being like, how many people did I kill? Here I go, doing that Ben Browder raspy voice thing, was noteworthy to me, and especially contrasted against most of the rest of the characters who aren't giving it much thought, clearly. And I think that actually speaks more to like his kind of otherness within the context of the Farscape crew. Like they were all prisoners of the Peacekeepers and have been at various like levels of war or conflict or strife or whatever, just sort of as a fact of life, apparently, in the universe. And to John, it's all much more like stark and, no pun intended, and horrifying. So I was pleased that they did give him that moment of there at the end.
Kind of ironic that we're bringing up this question of the worth of a life of a person when that person was unequivocally horrible this week of all weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Timely. Yes, we are currently watching fascism, fascists fight fascist turf war play out in the real time. We'll see how that's going to be a few weeks in the past for you folks. How's the Civil War going?
Too soon.
Yes, sorry.
But like to Mandy's point though, like it would be like if John killed. I guess that modern real world analogy would be like if John just killed the Emperor, but it was a bunch of collateral damage as well that we don't quantify, which would be like if the shooter had a Gatling gun and he just sprayed the crowd instead of a sniper rifle. So it's I mean, their nuclear technology has been alluded to as an allegory throughout the show, and now we finally have the allegory connecting to the text in a way that really just like, it feels like the writer is being like, do you get it? Wormholes, nuclear bombs. Do you get and
Subtexts for
yes, we do.
cowards.
Humanity's contribution to the absurd. And also, I love the line "a nuclear bomb in a field of flowers."
Yes.
I do love that line too.
It's a reference to a very famous ad from the 1970s. That was one of the most effective campaign ads. I think it was for Johnson. Editing Sara here. So Past Me is thinking of the Daisy ad that LBJ ran in 1964. But the nuclear bomb in a field of flowers may actually refer to the oleander flower that first bloomed, was the first plant to be seen to bloom in Hiroshima after the bomb. So it is a symbol of hope. Yeah, and it was very famous sort of anti-war who should be responsible for these things moment. And yeah, I think it is dropping that anvil and dropping it hard. But yeah, and I love that the others don't get it, but Aaron does. She's sitting with him and giving him the space he needs to grieve what he's done. And I love that it is not remotely triumphant.
Yeah. While the others are off getting their freak on.
Yes. Should we talk about the resumption of the waltz of Chiago?
Chiago!
I was so happy. It was so great.
And just the fact that they're like giggling, like they're in bed and they're giggling. I don't know. It's just so cute to me when people are giggling after sex. Like it's almost like a couple little kids. Like, like, I don't know. It's so cute. I mean, I know Darko doesn't really giggle. He has a very robust laugh. He has a very full-bodied laugh. But still, it's cute. It's adorable. I love it. I love that they end up back together. Have some. We survive sex. Good for them.
Yes.
It's been a long road.
Getting from there to here.
Wrong franchise.
Damn, I do that all the time.
It is kind of interesting. Going back to the bomb a little bit here, but that moment when they're all in the elevator waiting for the bomb to go off, and you see all these people like cuddling their significant others or potential significant others. Obviously John and Aaron are cuddling, and you have Scorpius holding on to Sikozu, and Dargo and Chiana, of course, are holding on to each other. And it's kind of nice to see everybody like, I mean, even Scorpius. Even Scorpius gets somebody. Good for him,
Yeah.
He's got plenty of somebodies, but I think she's one of the special ones.
Yeah. He's very protective of Sikozu, which is sweet.
Braca should have been there too, so because he has two arms, he could.
Yes, where's Braca?
I think one of the reasons why Scorpius has such a high regard for Sikozu is because he didn't have to manipulate her. Like he didn't have to dom her. She just was like, "Hey, leather guy who's kind of sweaty. Yeah, you seem nice."
She's like, "I know what I'm signing up for, and I'm into it."
Yeah, literally. Like, you're evil. I'm morally gray. Let's maybe do something. I feel a thing. You feel a thing.
Right. She's consenting. She's ready to go. She's green lighting everything. She's ready for that dynamic for sure.
They had a whole negotiation. And speaking of Scorpius's other connection in this, well, he's got a few in this episode. Holy shit! But I was thinking particularly of Braca. I thought as
go Braca.
It's a good episode for him.
I was like, snaps.
He's grown up so fast.
Braca leading his little anti-Grayson mutiny. That was very pleasantly surprising to me as a first-time viewer. And then everybody else backing his play as well.
Yes.
And I mean, Grays, we've sort of flogged to death Gray's boob powers, but I think it was noteworthy that most if not all of the other peacekeepers who were present during Braca's mutiny were men.
Mm-hmm.
And so it makes me wonder how many other men aboard the command carrier graze boobs into line, you know?
Mm.
Normally I'm a supporter of women's rights and women's wrongs, but, the line has to be drawn somewhere.
This far, no farther.
And there's no need to assume heterosexuality in here either. We saw Aaron's obvious ex that, is everything in name. I think, I think the peacekeepers are pretty open about who they're recreating with, and it's just it's a very masculine society, and Greyza has been wielding gender in a different way. And she sees it as a weapon in her arsenal, and who knows how many people she's been using it against. But this is obviously this seems to be par for the course for the peacekeepers, because she usurped Scorpius and Scorpius usurped Crais, and now it's her turn to bite the dust.
Usurped. Yeah. And Bronca's been there the whole time.
The usurper becomes the usurpee.
Yeah.
Yes, he's just been rising in the ranks, our little submissive fascist boy.
I feel like Bronca keeps telling himself, like, oh, okay, Crais is crazy, but at least Scorpius will finally get some things done. Oh, okay, well, Scorpius is crazy, but at least Greyza will finally get things done. I guess I'm just going to have to do it all myself.
Tomorrow belongs to Bronca.
Yeah. It's like, it's Bronca's turn. It's
really,
my turn in the sun,
I will be the new leader of the Decepticons.
Yeah. There you go.
Except he's been serving Scorpius the whole time. Bronca's
he's still Scorpius's number one good boy. So
and he does the whole seeing if John is rescuing him this time. Like that boy is in love.
Sure he is.
And John comments on it. The most textual confirmation we've gotten is referring to him as "Feel the love, Mr. Burns."
Yeah, this is the episode where the writers said "fuck subtext."
Yeah. No
I mean,
subtext.
we already had the kiss on the forehead thing fade to black. Like we're just there's just like, was that? Did you all not get it? Then okay, then we'll go here.
I mean, you don't kiss all of your coworkers on the forehead when they do a good job. That's not a thing people do. I can make some calls.
So you don't kiss the homies goodnight?
If we ever meet in person, Josh, I will kiss you on the forehead.
Thank you very much. I will,
but not like that.
Delighted to receive that.
not the way he did.
Not in an intergalactic Dom way. No, that's okay.
I don't think Mrs. Josh would approve.
She definitely doesn't approve of fascism. That's for sure.
Oh boy! And then let's see, Scorpio. So we just use Scorpius's Scorpicule as a way to go around some of the Rose Gallery in this episode. So let's talk about War Minister Dino Dominatrix Akna. I love her.
I love Akna. I am sad. That's another one I am sad that we didn't get more Akna with the season 5. She's great. I love the costume design for her is great. The Dominatrix, very almost Aliens vibe, like Aliens the movie, with the piece that kind of comes out and everything. It looks very Xenomorph Queen a bit, which I'm sure is intentional, and that's part of why I wear my Xenomorph dress today.
And of course, when you have a sexy lady villain wearing a bunch of prosthetics, you know who to call to play her.
Yep. Where's Ben's wife? Here she comes. Put her in some stilts. She's a little bit taller. I love that. I love that they got her back and that she's a lot more prominent of a role in this season in general. And the dynamic between her and Scorpius is just so like, oh my God, you two. I feel like I shouldn't be watching this. Like the way he's like edging her on, but also like she's kind of into it. And she's like, oh, you want some more? He's like, yeah, I want some more. She's like, I'll give you some more. Like that moment when he's like flicking his tongue at her, I'm like, oh boy.
Talk about a lack of subtlety.
Yeah. Oh no, there's no subtlety in this. All of that is great. I love Akna as a character, and I think it's interesting the Scarren like politics that are going on here because of it, like that one guy's constantly needling her about like her dad not being good at the job either, and obviously Scarren society, there's a lot of usurping happening there as well. There's a lot of like Sith vibes with all these people of like we gotta keep one-upping each other. So yeah, I find the sort of politicking that's happening. Oh, and then she has like that one Scarren that's like her lover who's all like my love, and she looks disgusted for a second. Like, don't you say that to me in public. That's not our dynamic. She's great. I love Agna.
Ren, you famously love villains. How do you like Akna?
I love her. I love that, like, I can never recognize Francesca in whatever role she's playing because it's like she's always plays it so like each one so differently. But yeah, no, I love the character design. I really loved the scene where she was torturing Scorpius and the tongue action.
Yeah.
His Hannibal Lecter moment.
Yeah.
This was like the Avengers Endgame for all of the Scarren characters that we've seen so far throughout the show. Almost every single major Scarren came back for this episode, and then like it all kind of came together. It was fun. And yeah, seeing Akna. Listen, that torture chamber that put the Aurora chair to shame in terms of like horror. Like the Aurora chair was depicted horrifyingly, but there was dried blood all over those blades.
Yeah.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of, have you guys seen Matilda?
Yes,
no.
the choke.
It reminded me of the chokey, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm right there.
It was sort of like a Iron Maiden capsule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they got tired of making torture chairs and decided to make a torture stand.
Cocoon?
Coat rack?
Something. Yes.
Standing is already torturous enough.
Yes, and somebody was definitely there with the KY jelly and the fake blood and the paints and various things. Yes, it's excellent work.
I love sloppy body horror.
And speaking of lack of subtlety, Emperor Codpiece.
It was just right there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In my notes, I just have him down as the red guy.
The red guy, yeah.
Stalik, Emperor Codpiece. I adore his costume. Like I love it. I love War Minister Akna's. I love the hat, but the red and gold and the codpiece dress, that is something else.
It feels very like David Bowie, Iggy Pop kind of look.
The scaring costume pieces are also great, and something that I notice about all of them, and I'm sure Sara, you have more feelings about the costuming, being someone who comes from costuming. But I love how like spiky everything is. Like Scarrens don't hug, huh? Like everything's so spiky. Like if you tried to hug a Scarren, you'd like lose an eye. Like how does sex even work with Scarrens? Like I don't know how this works. It's very interesting how like everything about their clothing has this very like you're not going to touch me. This is armor. This is part of how I like. This is it's I don't know. There's something very it's very I don't know. I love it. I love the way that the clothing so perfectly kind of gives this like air of like Scarrens don't get close to one another because they literally can't, because if they did, they get hurt by each other's clothing. Like it's very interesting. Yeah.
You want the cuddle dinosaurs, huh?
You want to give some of them a hug.
And I love that it's got very dragon scale ness.
Yeah.
They've got a whole dragon dino thing, but also it goes with the flower, the bird of paradise. It was a really interesting thing. It just was something someone put in the set deck back in Incubator when there was a bird of paradise in Scorpy's mother's pod thing, and they just kind of picked that, as with the way that Farscape does. It's like, let's pick up a thread. ooh, this is kind of neat. And we've seen them for the last couple episodes. We've seen them chomping down on flowers, and now we learn why. And I love that, like, the Emperor's outfit, he both looks like a dragon, and like a flower. And you know, it's just it's fucking great.
Yeah. Top tier costume designing, unquestionably.
It's kind of an interesting. Ren mentioned earlier that this is a very plot heavy episode. Both episodes are very plot heavy, and that's a huge plot point, of course, is that these flowers are so important and apparently help the Scarrens be so smart and successful. Which is kind of interesting because when you think about a species that is so into like doming everybody and but also it's constantly scrapping and sort of scrapping at each other and all this positioning, it does kind of bring up the interesting question of like, well, how does that species ever get past not killing each other to make any progress? So that is interesting. It's kind of, it feels almost too easy of a thing though. Like, oh, if we just get rid of these flowers, the Scarrens are done. It's like, why does it stop their brains functioning completely, or will it just stop them being able to go further? You know what I mean? Like that was the kind of a question I had when I was rewatching it, going like, oh, why is it that it completely stops all progress? Like how does that work exactly? And I don't think they ever give a complete answer for that, but it's still interesting. Like I like it as like a thing. It's just at the same time, there's a small part of me that's like, oh, we defeated the Scarrens by blowing up their garden.
It's very 11th hour MacGuffin for sure.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
They drop a lot of like new plot elements into this one. Like, oh, there's this flower that's vital to the Scarrens, society and well-being. Okay. Oh, and Zakozu has like a special ultimate power that she's never told us about before. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's par for the course though for Farscape up until this point. Like every preceding season climax set up plot threads for the next season. And if they didn't know they were being canceled at this point, then yeah, let's introduce a smart flower. And Sikozu is a bioloid with heat beams and whatever kind of a thing,
And we have Harvey back to give us exposition interrogation stuff.
Yeah.
Smoking the cigarettes.
Don't smoke in my brain. Yeah. And the hitting the coffee out of his hand continuously.
The donut.
I have expected a shot, and I must have made the shot up in my head, but I kept expecting a shot of just like a pile of the cups that have been thrown out of his hand. I must have made that up in my head, but it's pretty great. I love how much Wayne Pyger gets to have fun and play around as Harvey. Like he gets to do all these wild things. He gets to do different accents, different costuming. It's just, I love that they get that actor so much fun stuff to do in the course of the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in this episode, he got to slip tongue. So
he sure did.
Also got to drool all over everything.
Yeah,
he did do a lot of drooling. Admittedly, someone who doesn't like saliva, that was hard for me to watch. But
I was wondering if that was his own saliva or if that was like some added fluids.
Oh,
Probably
give him
both.
a capsule in his mouth or something.
Yeah, they make him like something.
And
I know that there's like a special type of mint that if you put it in your mouth, like you just start like drooling like crazy.
Yeah, no, they've got stuff for that.
Surely they didn't tell Wayne like drool, buddy, drool.
I guess what I mean is
good
like
actor. He's just
don't forget to hydrate.
Yeah,
I guess what I mean is like I was wondering if it was like I don't know, like lube in his mouth or something that he was spitting out.
Probably.
I have not got any answers. I doubt it's lube. But like,
well, fun fact, there's a show that I unfortunately like where actors have to have water thrown in their face a lot for plot reasons, but first they discovered that the water didn't look right on camera, so they subbed it in with lube instead. So whenever you watch that show and somebody has water thrown in their face, it's actually lube.
What's the show?
It's Supernatural.
Okay. I'm like, I just gotta know. Sorry. For my own personal
science.
reasons. For science.
Yeah.
Every time Ren comes, she brings the supernatural references.
Of course.
It's like Josh and Star Trek. It's just gonna happen.
Nice.
Well, no, like lube is definitely an important tool in a prop designer's in a stage manager's arsenal.
That is a very specific sentence that only applies in this circumstance. Lube is definitely an important.
Well, I mean, that's what was dripping off the alien in Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. It's and the other trick is a little bit of is water with a little bit of milk in it.
Mm-hmm. I heard that because water on camera just doesn't pick up right. So they could have just given him a mouthful of watery milk. It said,
which one would you rather have in your mouth?
Boy.
Yeah, because they're gonna try and not have it be something that isn't particularly appealing. I mean,
watered down milk is not appealing.
Well, no, not really, but they're gonna try their best to make it as
milked up water.
You know, the least uncomfortable for the actor as possible. But yeah. Or
which
just
one would you rather put in your
between
mouth?
Takes. Here's a
Tell
whole
us in the
bottle
comments,
of water.
what would you rather have in your mouth? Lube
Comment below.
Watered down milk. Tell us.
Or lube.
Or if you are a prop master or a makeup artist, tell us what they actually use, because this is not a department that I'd actually know.
Anywho.
Yeah, good segue.
I mean, the things that you
slide away from this topic.
The things that you tend to have on hand as a prop person or a costume person are surprising. But since we're on this weird topic, I think I'll go in with we learned something else about Scarren anatomy in this episode.
Yeah. Mevonks are on the inside. Poor Chiana. You know, that is too bad. Chiana doesn't get to do much, but she does get to try and hit a Scarren in the balls, even though it fails. Good for her. For
she deserved some revenge. I wish she could have actually found a way to take out Janek, because fuck that guy.
I mean, but she also just kicked him really hard, and I feel like that would hurt a little bit no matter what. Like even if his balls weren't in the way.
Maybe after he left, like he went around a corner and went, ooh, like he held a brave face, but then he came around the corner and was like, okay, I need a minute, guys, hang on.
That's the headcanon that saves the show for me. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Or he might also have a codpiece that's armored because, he's dragon.
Which makes sense. You want to be prepared for anything when you're the emperor.
Oh, no, this is Janek, the ambitious captain.
I thought she'd need the emperor. My bad.
Nope.
Nah, they wouldn't let her be the emperor, probably.
No, it was douchebag who tried to open her up and use her as an incubator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He deserved some revenge being taken on him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually,
No, we need a can opener so we can, in fact, knee his balls.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would have been really cool if he had said, like, yes, my species does have those, but I don't personally.
It's bigger on the inside.
Or maybe he is a Transcaran, because who does have their Mivix internal is those with, ovaries.
That is true.
There you go.
Transcaran
Lots
confirmed.
of possibilities.
Or they just do gender in a whole different way.
Well, that's also clear.
In the comments, let us know how you think.
Not really related to what we're talking about, but we're talking about Scarrens in general, so it's kind of related. How do we all feel about the reveal that apparently Scorpius has been some kind of like quadruple spy this whole time?
Honestly, not a surprise.
Also, don't quite buy it. Like, I feel like
that's my takeaway.
Just telling the other guy what he needs to hear.
It's a little weird.
It it makes Salik seem a little bit foolish that he'd actually believe Scorpion.
Yeah.
You know the episode of It's Always Sunny where like everyone is divided and Matt keeps going between the two groups and saying like, I'm being a double agent, and they keep telling him, you can't, you don't, if you're being a double agent, you don't tell people you're being a double agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, similar vibes.
I'm a quadruple agent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a little bit, because it's interesting, because like when Scorpius was first taken in by the Peacekeepers, they thought he was a Scarren spy, and he was like, no, you guys seem cool. I hate the Scarrens. And that's his entire character for the last 4 seasons. And at the very end of season 4, they try to do this like little twist of like, oh, he is actually maybe a Scarren spy. It's like, no, he's not. It's Scorpius. We know Scorpius. He's not a Scarren spy. Maybe he's messing with the Scarrens, but he is not. You know what I mean? But it does bring up a lot of questions of just kind of like, well, how the hell did that work? Like, was he slipping? He must have been working with the Peacekeepers to a certain degree, being like, okay, so the Scarrens think I work for them, but I don't. So what information can I give them? But also, like, I don't know. It's one of those plot points that personally I don't think is necessary to like have Scorpius have this other layer of like weird whatever of the more espionage, I guess, for him. But it's fine.
Yeah.
It gets thrown away so quickly, it doesn't really matter. So for me, it bothers me that they even bothered doing it, but it's also not that big of a deal. It just bothers me more than it probably should.
I mean, Scorpion's gonna scorp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Scorpion's going to scorp, but it's the Scarrens. It just doesn't really make sense for him to even pretend to like them, considering how it's like in his dating profile, like can't be a Scarren. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not.
It makes Salik look dumber.
Yeah.
It does, and it makes Scorpius look smarter, I guess.
Royalty dumb? No.
I mean, it's probably why for me it's just such a shrug of a plot point, because it's like, I mean, if it's true, then Scorpius probably been doing the false flag intelligence thing of like feeding the Scarrens outdated or inaccurate intelligence, or like, the command carrier is going to be moving into the star system, when it's obvious to the whole galaxy the command carrier is moving to the star system, kind of a thing. Or it's something that, that he's been planted as some sort of like a deep cover sleeper asset. And the Emperor's like, yes, and when the time is right, we'll activate him. And Scorpius like, yeah, sure you will. So absolutely.
Yeah, totally. I'll get right on that. Let me just chase this one human around for a while first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll totally get to that bit later.
Yeah.
Or he's playing both sides against the other.
Which I could totally buy.
Trying to be powerful, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his ultimate goal does seem to be to defeat the Scarrens, because he is awfully disappointed at not being able to kill Audrey too.
I love when he's just hitting the flowers with his gun. He's just like, take that.
It's like Scorpy is losing control. He doesn't usually. We have only John can bring him to the point of losing his shit.
Yeah. So
what do we think? We talked about the sort of the whole thing with Audrey too, and then like the bringing in the flowers. It's an interesting thing, the super secret garden, and I love that we get John and Aaron trying to get Nookie in the super secret garden.
And being
hey,
like,
when you're hot, you're hot.
Yeah. Like, oh, there was this one way I got arrested once in a field. Like, let me show you.
But I just
hadn't they reestablished that they had to be careful of him doing that because of the bomb?
I think at that point the bomb had been deactivated.
No, the bomb was still going.
The bomb was still on.
They were gonna have to be pretty careful.
Yeah.
John and Aaron working together is just perfection in this episode. Yeah.
She supports her man so hard in these 2 episodes. It's great.
It's like after 4 seasons of them just like constantly like being out of sync, like the lockstep they had this episode was just beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And the dance.
The dance in the elevator is very cute.
When we watched it for reaction, if you Patreon, and Josh was just kind of like, "Aww, melting." You support the Patreon to see that.
I'm a big old softie, and I don't care who knows it.
Yeah, because everybody knows it.
Yeah, it is absolutely 100%.
Was it a secret?
If it was a badly kept one.
I've been secretly a double agent this whole time.
Judas,
Oh.
no.
Oh my God. He's a man with a microphone.
Kill him.
Bro, we
He's
should
been
start a
one the whole
podcast, bro.
time.
We should get a podcast going, bro.
Earlier, Josh mentioned that Stark came back. I didn't get a chance to freak out because my favorite character's back, everybody. I love Stark. I love my little
in
boy.
two different ways.
And you got two of them.
I got two. Oh,
Two
hi,
Starks
boys.
for the price of one.
Yep. I mean, one of them is a Biloid, so it's not the real Stark, but that doesn't matter to me. It would be fine.
It's evil robot Stark.
Evil robot Stark.
Which seems like a very Star Trekian thing to do.
Right? Like the doppelganger thing. If he had like a little mustache, then it would have been really Star Trekky. Isn't it what they have, or is it beards? I can't remember. I'm
It's
not
a
Star
goatee.
Trekky.
It's a goatee.
It's a goatee. That's what it is. I knew it was some facial
It
thing.
needs like a little foam one, like Community.
Right. Gotcha. So yeah, the Return of Stark is great. I love that he's back. Of course, he has been gone for a while. I mean, I know he showed up in a couple of the other episodes, but it wasn't him. It was like a imaginary him or a video game version of him. So it's nice to have Stark back again. And the the way that Rigel is actually like happy to see him, he's like, "Oh, my little lunatic is back." It's kind of adorable, like because they had such great wacky little adventures, the two of them.
I'm sure after dealing with Naranti for the past season, he's glad to have Stark back. It's like I didn't know how good I had it.
Right. Exactly. He's like, I am
Maybe
so
that explains
glad
why
to
I'm
see
so
you.
okay with it too.
Yeah.
So there we do have the meeting of Stark and Naranti. It's like the two most unhinged characters in the entirety of this universe.
Mm-hmm.
Is it, or have we had any more unhinged? I don't know.
In the
Nobody
crew?
has stuck
No.
around quite so
Not in the
much.
crew,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. As a regular, I think it's those two. If we're going off of like one-off characters, there might be some other ones out there. But
And between them, they have a normal number of eyes.
Nice. Yeah. There you go.
Not that there's anything wrong with having an abnormal or an uncommon number of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're Rigel,
That's
but
true.
who cares what Rigel thinks?
Yes. But yeah, and Stark or faux Stark getting to torture Scorpy. A bit of turnaround is fair play there.
But also I like Scorpius's, I never believed for a second it was Stark because he would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like Scorpius always has this really interesting level of respect for his opponents and his victims. And it's always been a fascinating dichotomy about his character. Like even as he's actively victimizing somebody, he still respects them. It's weird, but it works.
It's Scorpy.
Even as he actively degrades them, he still shows them respect. Yeah.
Well,
He's a gentleman villain.
Does.
Yeah.
He is
He's a
one of a
gentleman
kind.
villain.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see Stark use the Stakere thing as a torture device. This thing we've always seen as him using a benevolent, helping people cross over way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It really should have been a red, like a tip off that like this is not the Stark we know.
Mm-hmm.
Although, to be honest, it would have been a really interesting choice had it been the Stark we knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Had Scorpy been wrong, and actually, yeah, Stark can actually do that, because I don't see any reason why this is out of character for Stark.
We've definitely seen Stark be like cruel. I mean, he was cruel to Crais. So like it was believable for the audience at least. I just really like the internal show logic of Scorpius knowing and respecting his enemies and his victims.
Yes.
Yeah, because we know Stark's definitely not above necessarily being cruel when he's really in a bad place, or even killing somebody. We know he's killed people before, obviously. But yeah, I know when I first saw this episode back when it aired on Sci-Fi Channel and everything, being a little surprised about how far he was going with Scorpius, but also with Scorpius, so it still made sense to me. But then the reveal of the Biloid, I'm like, oh, okay, that also makes sense within the logic of the world. And the fact that I've already referenced aliens now a couple times for this episode, but the fact that when they stab him, it's white, it's the white gooey-ness coming out, like the very similar to the synths in the Alien universe. And of course, we've already seen a couple Biloids already at this point, or two Biloids. I can't remember how many Biloids. There was the Aaron one, obviously, but
There was
so it's
like
kind of
the sample one in that episode too.
yeah, that sounds right. I am interested in like how much more we would have learned about Biloids if there had been a fifth season. Because like Sikozu seems like basically a person. Like she seems like a person. She can do everything that the Kalish can do, and then she has this one special ability specific for the Kalish resistance. But she seems like a normal human or human. She seems like a normal person otherwise. So that does bring up some interesting questions about, the Aaron Biloid or the Stark Biloid. Like, did they essentially just kill another? Like, they don't seem like straight up robots so much as they are a kind of like robot clone thing. And it's kind of interesting what that implies. And also the fact that there's like an underground resistance in the Kalish, that's also kind of cool. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, they're much closer to the androids and aliens than kind of like the robots of Terminator or Star Trek.
They actually remind me a lot of replicants like Blade Runner. That's what
Yeah.
I kind of get the vibe of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially we get the eyeball thing.
Yeah, that's
Since
kind of
Ridley
a fun
Scott
little
did.
symbol. The little.
I do think it's interesting that like we have bioloids in the sense that they're like robot copies of people who already exist, and then also there are like kind of like the augments from Star Trek, like they underwent like some kind of medical procedure to like make them part robot, but they're still called the same thing.
Yeah, we don't really know how Sikozu works because we don't haven't had the chance to. We didn't get season 5, and
all we've gotten is setup. We haven't gotten payoff.
and we haven't had enough experience with the Kalish to know if anything we've seen from her is unusual. We know that in the last episode, she hid that she was doing the little frying things with her hand thing. And we know that she can flip her eyes, and we know that she can do the fairy death magic thing.
Fairy death magic.
Yeah. Which, thankfully doesn't affect you if you don't look at it. I don't know. It's some good story nonsense. Very good story nonsense.
It's solid. This makes me wonder, is Sikozu an original Biloid, if that even exists, or is she a copy of is there a real Sikozu out there somewhere too? That's another question I have.
That's a good question.
Because who knows? We don't know. There could be
nobody knows.
Or is it maybe like the Doctor Who fleshy things where she's piloting consciously, where she's like, there's a real one who's piloting the mechanoid?
Maybe.
Men in Black.
See, these are questions that probably would have been answered in
season
speculative season 5 had we gotten one.
Yeah, 100%. And there's obviously a lot of like Farscape comics. I'm not sure. I haven't read that many of the comics, so I don't know if they ever explored this in the extended universe elsewhere. They might have. I'm not sure.
I read a couple, and it didn't get to that.
It didn't. Okay.
In the ones that I read.
Yeah.
We have a couple comments backstage, like notes on this one, but nothing. I couldn't find anything about the plans for the Biloids. But one thing David Kemper did mention is that when it comes to the nuclear blast thing, he was thinking of it kind of like the underground tests that the Manhattan Project conducted and stuff that didn't that thinking that the mine shaft would contain a lot of it. But
sort of contradicted by the effects team.
True. But we don't know if anybody made it off that road. We know that our folks were shielded in the elevator. We don't know if anybody else made it off. Yeah.
I said it in the rewatch, but that elevator is on the scale of Indiana Jones's fridge.
Magic Wonkavator.
No, yeah, literally, and it's reinforced to survive the. Yes, I'm sure it is, but that's a thermonuclear bomb, and it's an interesting. Um, I don't know if it's a writing choice or a thread or a theme or what it is, but it's an observation that I have that often if we're in a sci-fi world where there is some sort of contemporary or postmodern human civilization, nuclear weapons are still treated as sort of at this like ultimate threshold we do not cross.
Mhm.
Like I'm thinking about Tony Stark throwing the nuke in the Avengers was enough to kind of warn off Thanos at that point. I'm thinking of the episode Balance of Terror from the original series, where the nuclear bomb damaged the Enterprise more than we've seen other weapons damage the Enterprise. And in this show, like, they've had like little bolts of pew pew thrown at each other all throughout the show, but this thermonuclear device hollows out a planet,
Mm.
and it's extremely deadly. And I just find that an interesting like writing choice and kind of a common thread that I never really picked up on until we were watching this episode. It's still like I guess fresh horror in the memory of humanity.
Yeah. It is a horror that exists for us. They still exist for us, and none of the people some of the people in charge of them right now are not very stable, and it's very scary.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not think too much about that. It is humanity's contribution to the absurd, and I like that it is still unusual for the even halfway across the universe. Yeah, this is a fucking crazy shit we did inventing this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and it's good storytelling. I think that we bring in we make literal the thing that has been the allegory of the series, the
Mhm.
discussion, nuclear armament.
It also kind of makes the scales even bigger because it's like, okay, this is how big this is. Wormhole technology, we know it has to surpass that. Like it's gotta, right? Like it's always going to one up each other. So yeah, I think it's almost a really smart decision in the sense of like, well, we know eventually we're going to have a wormhole weapon. So let's see what the ultimate is that we can imagine, the nuclear bomb. And now we know that this is going to be even bigger. So yeah, no, it's again, this episode has no subtext at all.
No,
no subtext. We're not into subtlety.
I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards.
Exactly. Exactly. Something we haven't talked about at all was the riot. I don't know if you like the riot. I like the riot. The riot's fun. Just a fun, very Farscape thing to do.
Oh yeah.
The literal race riot that they incite.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love we've been talking a lot all show about the whole fascism, how fascism works, and how fragile it is, and we've got our two kinds of fascists, and we in both of them in this episode we show the instability of a hierarchy. Fascists love hierarchy, thinking that it, and then always, it has the aesthetics of stability, but is in fact extremely fragile. There is always somebody, and the peacekeepers, we've got there's always someone willing to do a night of the long knives and take you out and take your place. And in the Scarrens, we've got you're using all these other you're using this other race. You're doing the English Empire thing of divide and conquer, trying to divide and rule. Keep these two hating each other, so you can dominate them and da 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 da. But that is such a fine balance, and just when something puts it out of whack, your entire society has to deal with just absolute chaos of civil war.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as if colonization is bad, actually.
Mm-hmm.
What a concept.
Yeah.
Almost as if domination is in fact a fragile and just generally not a good plan. It's fragile, it's shitty, and it actually doesn't serve anybody in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Outside the bedroom.
I was about to say safe, sane, and consensual, but it's almost as if authoritarianism is self-defeating.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like.
Almost. Yeah, and I
Brought
do
to you by
like
3 Americans, 2 Texans, and 1 Canadian.
Yeah, I do also find the whole like the fact that the Kalish have this like little underground like rebellion happening interesting. It makes me kind of wonder if there is an equivalent for the Charids and some of these other races that the Scarrens have dominated. I assume yes, because that makes sense, and that's again very Farscape thing to do. It's too bad we don't get to know that in this episode, and maybe that's something that would have come up later on in the show if they had continued on. But I do like that, I mean, sometimes Farscape's racism through different alien races gets a little like yikes for sure. But there are times when they're like, okay, no, they're not all like this. Like there's, you know what I mean? Like it's very easy to kind of have like the space orcs are all evil. And we mostly see them being bad throughout the show, but there's this possibility that they also have these rebellions happening too, of people who are rising up underneath and being like, no, fascism is bad, including in space. So no, we're not doing this. Like I like that the show allows for that potentiality. Like we see that also with the Nabari. There's a rebellion in the Nabari as well. Nabari Prime is not by all means like a completely everybody does this one thing. You have people who are rebelling against that, mostly young people, which makes sense. So that's nice. I like that.
And all the Charids we see are mercs. We don't know if like on Charid land there's like Charid cooks and Charid artists and Charid musicians.
Charid taxidermist.
Clearly there's some armor making people. But yeah, we
I swear that's the same armor they used in Galaxy Quest.
or definitely similar. Mercenaries will go for the highest bidder.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact of mercenary. That mercenary's gonna merc.
Yep. Indeed.
I was watching a YouTube reaction to Remember the Titans today, aka the movie where they solved racism with football. And
Go America.
Football
very good
camp, summer
film.
camp. Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent film, very feel good and very good message. As simplistic as its rating. But one of my favorite bits, and it's all over the internet as a meme, is the argument between the two, I guess, leaders of the respective races, and one guy says to the other, you got such a bad attitude, man. Like that's such a bad attitude to have on a team. And the other guy goes, attitude reflects leadership, Captain.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always thought that, I've in any number of circumstances where someone looks from the top down and says, you all need to do better, that they have never watched Remember the Titans. And I think obviously the Scarrens have never watched Remember the Titans, but I'm sure John has.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait! It came out while he was gone.
Let's say I think he was gone when it came out.
Yeah.
He would have liked it.
Never seen Remember the Titans.
He's never seen Remember.
He might have watched it like that brief moment when he was at home, but
yeah, he's got a TV and a bunch of DVDs. So maybe someone included Remember the Titans because we know he likes football.
Yeah, his dad told him about 9/11. Surely he told him about Remember the Titans.
Sorry, I just keep thinking of a meme where somebody edited the name of that movie to Remember the Tits.
I've not seen that.
Rule 34.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. Like, notice my complete lack of surprise. So I did that.
If it doesn't exist, I'm sure you could make it exist, Ren. But yeah, I mean,
you can, Ren.
If I build it, they will come.
Wrong That's sport. Okay, folks in the comments, let us know what films you think Papa Crichton and Olivia gave John to take away and what after the thing.
I just pulled it up on Wikipedia. Remember the Titans came out a year after John disappeared in the wormhole. He's never seen Denzel Washington with a football.
He definitely sent along a copy of Shrek. Troll Touchstone Shrek.
Anyway, yeah, with the instability, talking about instability from the top, we talked a little bit about Stalik and his constant negging of War Minister Akna and about her dad and all that. But we're getting a lot. I think it's a really well delivered bunch of exposition about how the Scarren hierarchy works. That it is a constant bickering, constant political strife, which I find is a funny contrast with John's whole I want to wake up like an emperor. With the emperor birdies and the emperor thing, and it's like I don't think things are actually that peaceful for the emperor.
Not for a Scarren emperor. There's got to be a lot of just waking up with a knife ready under. I mean, do you even need knives? You're Scarren. I don't know, but I bet he sleeps with some kind of weapon under his pillow.
Yeah, he's got his shoulder pads. He doesn't need knives.
Yeah,
I imagine it's just like the mirror world in a Star Trek. Terran Empire, Scarren Empire.
Or basically any empire that has existed. You either have to build a whole big giant fortress and fill it with people who who are somehow super loyal to you, and even then no.
Rome didn't roam the whole time.
Yes, Rome did a lot of roaming. And the English Empire, I mean, Victoria didn't get taken out at all, but she wasn't doing the actual running. The politics was all Disraeli and all the Gladstone and all them fighting each other, and it ain't easy at the top.
Nope.
I know that for a fact.
I keep walking into these innuendos. It's just
why we keep you around.
You're the one who took us on a tangent about lube for 15 minutes.
I know, right?
You greased the skids for this whole thing.
As a part of the prop master's tools.
Josh, you think you're so slick.
Oh, sorry. I just slides out sometimes.
That is a perfectly legitimate use. Not that the other isn't
Sorry, it's okay.
Sorry, just dropping.
Quit while you're ahead. Or quit while you're behind.
Did someone get us out of this?
You want to get us out of this? Lube.
Favorite parts? What's everybody's favorite part?
Are we at that point yet? Well, we could be at that point yet.
My favorite part is, of course, when John and Aaron are, getting all flirty, and John's bio bomb starts beeping faster.
We've all been there. Mandy?
Trying to think. What is my favorite part? That's hard. I mean, I'm obviously very happy that Stark came back. I think my favorite part's the tongue. It's the tongue. Scorpius just
I would expect nothing
Sorry.
less.
It's not the
sorry,
right
but
job.
also not sorry. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Josh?
My favorite part, I mean, there were a lot of kind of moments that I had throughout the episode, but I think my favorite warms my heart moment was Chiago getting back together.
More.
Yeah, I'm a big old softie. Sarah?
My favorite part is the end scene with the John taking comfort from Aaron and talking about the nuclear bomb in the field of flowers.
Yeah, that's good to say too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you ready to learn the title of the next episode?
You mean the last episode?
The very last regular episode of Farscape. So
yeah,
far.
Sure.
Bad
Maldus
timing.
returns.
Ren.
Somehow Maldus returned.
Bad timing.
Bad timing. Okay. Well, yes. Can believe that.
Do you have any
okay.
predictions?
Stark is going to walk in right as Aaron and John are getting hot and heavy.
Maybe they'll let him sit in the cuck chair.
Curious question. Is this episode produced late enough that they all know they're canceled?
No.
Okay.
The very last episode to be produced was the clip show, and because that just took so long, and so there were, and even if it had been, they still would have been, it would have been written and everything would have been ready. So yeah. So there's some interesting things would do come up in the next episode.
Looking forward to it. Not ready for
it. We are going to be joined for this episode, inshallah, knock on wood, all that by Jesse Gender.
Yay.
Nice. Solid guess for the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Good old Jesse. Love Jesse.
Yeah. So I had promised the two of you that I would tally something up for this.
Oh yeah, that's right. Who has been on here the most?
Who gets the jacket?
Who gets the jacket? Who gets to be the SNL thing? They have the 5 times club or whatever. Who's in that?
You have both gone more than 5 times.
Definitely.
Do either of you want to guess what your total might be?
I feel like this might be my 6th, but I'm not sure.
I feel like I've been on here a lot. I'm gonna guess 8. I don't know.
For Mandy, this would be the 7th return.
7th. Okay. Wow.
Hey.
Wow. Look at
We've
me.
got Dimey Dichotomy, Green-Eyed Monster, Revenging Angel, Crichton Kicks, Natural Election, Kansas, and this one.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
It's been a time.
And for Ren, this would be your 12th.
Oh, damn.
Wow. Look at you.
You rounded out the full dozen. We've got PK Tech Girl was her first one.
Oh,
Rhapsody in Blue, Out of Their Minds, Season of Death, Thanks for Sharing, Relativity, I Yench, You Yench, Lava's a Many Splendored Thing, John Quixote, Terra Firma, Bringing Home the Beacon, and this one.
Nice.
The only person with...
Well, I was about to ask, Ren's the top over everybody?
Well, other than Yumi and Jack.
Well, sure, we don't count.
Well, yeah.
I'm always the top.
I mean, I didn't count up Jack's episodes, but I think they might be close.
Yeah, I think that'd probably outnumber me.
Hey, Jack doesn't count. He was a series regular.
But only for half of the show. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Ren gets the Cupid doll.
All right.
Heck yeah.
Well done, Ren. Thanks you for being here.
Well deserved.
So often and putting up with us.
So it's always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's been so much fun coming all these times. Not of getting to come here and talk about the show, and I love that I got to be here with Ren, of course. This has been an amazing experience, and I'm so glad that you two have stuck with it. And I know that's been very challenging with all the different things that have been going on. So good on you. Thank you for doing this. This has been so much fun. And if you want some company to watch the miniseries with, you let me know.
We're going to do a live reaction.
I remember you mentioned that before,
and
so
and everyone
myself again.
Everyone who has been a guest is welcome to join us on that.
Yeah,
everyone who is free and available. We haven't picked a date yet. We'll do that. I may have if editing Sara has the date for that by the time we're putting this out in a couple weeks. Yeah. Well, thank you, Past Me. In fact, we do have a date. It will be November 1st, Saturday, November 1st. Time will be announced soon, and there will be a live stream event posted on the YouTube channel. So keep an eye out for that. We have one more episode to go with Bad Timing that we will be talking about with Jesse. And again, Josh and I will be recording a reaction to that episode. And then we will have the last two-parter, the Peacekeeper Wars.
And then I guess you'll have like a final discussion about the series as a whole.
Yeah, we'll have to have some kind of
wrap up kind of a deal. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So with that, thank you to both of you very, very much for joining us. And would you like to tell the folks where they can follow you?
Yeah, Brent, if you want to go first. Yeah.
Okay. Well, as you probably know by now, I am Ren the Barbarian. Yes, Ren the Barbarian, the YouTuber. Occasionally. You can find me here on YouTube as Ren the Barbarian. You can also find me on Blue Sky, Tumblr, Instagram, although I'm not on Instagram that much, as Ren the Barbarian. And if you want to find me on TikTok, I am the real Ren Shady. I'm also a writer. I've got my second book just recently finished. Now I need to work on editing and getting it published. But yeah, on my channel, I talk about Star Trek and other pop culture stuff. So, if that sounds interesting, come swing by and say hello.
Yes, we're all looking forward to the publishing of your very, very gay fantasy. Gay. Gay, magic, sex, said all that stuff.
That is in no way inspired by The Mandalorian and Luke Skywalker.
No. Every writer steals.
Good writers borrow, the best writers steal.
That's what you iterate on. So speaking of writers and stealing and creativity, what are you up to, Mandy, and where can folks find you?
Yes, I am mainly Mandy, basically everywhere: YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, all those places. I think I technically have a Mastodon. I have not used it in like a year, so don't follow me in Mastodon. It's probably not worth it. But Instagram and Blue Sky are kind of the ones I'm most active on. I am working on a video right now. I've been editing a lot this past weekend actually on it, about being neurodivergent and polyamorous. In general, I talk a lot about polyamory, but I talk about other things as well, obviously. So that next video is going to be very interesting. And I also talk a lot about the show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend at times in it too, or make some comparisons. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. By the time this comes out, I imagine that should be done, hopefully. If not, I'm going to be sad. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. And please support these people, by the way. They work so hard on this podcast, and it's been great being here. So go on Patreon and check out like the live reactions and stuff, because that sounds cool. Just saying.
I'd support Mandy too, and I have read. I did the sensitivity read through, and
yes, Sara did.
Can confirm this is going to be awesome.
Yes.
Looking forward to it. I'm Josh Gosdin. I'm on Instagram, and I can be your friend if you want me to be your friend. I can be the voice in your head if you want to have a neural clone of me implanted in your head. It's totally up to you. But just come follow me on Instagram. Food, self-care, that's my jam.
not at all parasocially dodgy. No.
Sorry.
I'm Sara Ezzat. I make Fat Culture Critic videos on YouTube. My most recent video was the breakdown of the very mess of an episode of Strange New Worlds, although I'm also working on a script about the mess of the whole season of Strange New Worlds, and some other stuff in the works, and some various ideas. So yeah, you can find that at the Fat Culture Critic. And you can follow me on Blue Sky, and you can follow the podcast on Blue Sky, or subscribe to the Patreon, or send us an email. We'd love your comments. I think we'll save comments to the closing season thoughts episode. We've got a couple of good ones, and we could use some more. So give us your comments and questions and various things for that. We love when you engage. And yes, we gave you a couple prompts this in. And Mandy, you should maybe you should do a video on the Scorpicule.
The Scorpicule. I might. I mean, it's always a possibility. I have yet to make an actual video about Farscape yet. I've definitely talked about it a couple of times in my videos. It's come up a few times, but I have not truly made a Farscape video. So honestly, I could talk about the many non-monogamous relationships that pop up, particularly with Scorpius. But
how functional is the Scorpicule?
Yeah, right. I'm gonna make a graph. It's gonna be a whole. It's gonna be a lot.
I think if anyone could organize a toxic polycule, it would be Scorpius.
Yeah, probably.
No, I think Braca probably does a lot of the supporting.
He does the middle manager micromanaging work.
He runs out and he gets some coffee and donuts for after sex.
He does all
maybe
the
next time I can
positions.
join.
He fills up their lube bottle afterwards.
Yeah.
Bottomiest bottom.
Yeah.
Well, that's a place to end the episode.
End with lube. Love it.
We
Begin as we began.
Much like how we began.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is what it is. Okay, so thank you, both of you, for joining us. Thank you, all of you, for this, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. I was really glad I remembered to double check which episodes we were supposed to be watching, because in my mind I'm like, oh, it's the last 2 episodes of the season, because I miscounted in my head. So I'm really glad I double checked, because if not, I was about to come in hot and heavy with all my hot takes about the series finale. I'm like, oh no. I'm really glad I double checked. It would have been bad.
We are getting penultimate.
We have
Scorpius grows a second head. Oh my god. Yeah.
Insert the rod, John.
John finally inserts the rod.
Yeah.
They just literally have sex on screen.
They just go at it.
Yep.
Because they're boyfriends.
Bring back the sex jazz, and everybody on the whole crew goes in for one big orgy.
They're like, I'm your daddy, taking off his